Founders part 2 of this segment. um, the the founders of the demiurge, or the divine dispensation, or the cursed um, manipulation. Okay, the fifth divine dispensation, the spiral of ascension. The process of reincarnation has many benefits. I don't think so for you. For you who runs a circus. Yeah, you guys runs a circus here on this quadrant of the universe. So, well, for you it's okay. You just watch people suffering. The majority at least suffering. So for you it's okay. The process of reincarnation has many benefits. It didn't help anybody up to now. It didn't help it at all. It makes things worse because there's only people with mental disorders being reincarnated here to um, to be able to live up your karma for all of you. We are used as how I would say that, how I would put, we are used as a kind of Muppet, you know. It's a kind of that thing there that we put on the plantation, scarecrow. Yeah, we just there to scare away their karma, you see, or a sponge to suck on their karma. Okay, and it didn't help up to now because people are coming back, going back angry and return angry. Most of us, look at around how many dysfunctional family, how many dysfunctional people. All these are product of a creation that went wrong, a creation which was manipulated by third parties, but it was highly inefficient because each time a soul reincarnated, exactly my point. I don't have to go to university to know. I don't have to have a doctorate in metaphysics to know. It's just about figure out, it's just about think better and disseminate truth. But it was highly inefficient because each time a soul reincarnated, most of the memory of his past lives was lost or obscured by the views surrounding the lower density planets. But what to do? When you do it by design, you're already created by design on purpose, and then you blame the victim for your own crimes. And I tell you this, they are not helping us for nothing. And not everybody is getting help, okay? There has to be a few minority who will graduate and who will get benefits from them, and who will actually succeed and graduate. The chosen ones, so they say. So a great deal of time and attention was spent relearning and remembering the lessons from previous lifetimes. Means we come back here with this nonsense, this theater, this circus, to remember what we, not to remember, to relearning our lesson. Like, let's say, maybe we came here to learn how to be a paralyzed person, or have a brain atrophies, or whatever, any handicap, and then we have to put up with it and try to pass with flying colors, or suffer in silence. Be poor there in the slums and suffer in silence and not protest and not take revenge and not protest. This is what they try to say, okay? So in addition, the birth and death processes themselves created a lot of trauma and fragmentation. Of course, it with a reason within the souls. It was like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back each time a soul incarnated. I'm not even surprised that they do that. It is happening. A process was devised whereby a soul could evolve directly into the next density level without discarding the physical form. This made it possible for the soul to enter the next series of lessons without having to relearn and remember. And why don't you want us to remember who we were in reality? Why? There must be something hidden, is it? And without having to go through the traumas of birth and death. But it's not helping yet, because many people are not ready for it, and many people is not into those things. Also, there is only a few chosen ones will ascend, who graduate. This process is known as the spiral of ascension. Unfortunately, until very recently, very few souls were able to go through this process because it required that a certain amount of karma be balanced. This means that not everybody is fit to evolve, to ascend, to graduate, because they think that these souls has to balance karma. Balance karma means they have to go through more trials, more obstacles. You understand? These are all the laws and punishment from Satan, the planet of the devil itself. And it's Satan in some time together with Puru who gives all the mayhem, all the tribulation and hell that we see here and in the astral realms. In a certain critical number of soul fragments be reassembled before the soul had enough energy consolidated to be able to make the shift. How to reassemble all those fragments? That means some people is having your soul fragment, others also have. So we are, basically speaking, we are scattered everywhere. Then there comes the concept of twin flame, or that one, twin soul, something like that. So reassembled before the soul had enough energy consolidated to be able to make the shift. Now, wait a minute. You see how treacherous, how insidious is the process to ascend. They make it very, very hard for us to succeed in this feat. That means we have to find our souls fragments about among all the billions of people here on earth. Which is a very, very complex matter to undergo. You see, and it is all done on purpose because they know it's gonna be hard. It's just like trying to find a needle in the vast ocean. Once a soul had enough awareness to be able to go through the ascension process, the preset triggers, including the master template, would be activated, causing an automated conversion to take place, converting the physical body into an etheric body. Oh, I don't want this. Never mind, let me dive in this body. I don't want. A similar process takes place as a soul evolves from the etheric body in a celestial body. That's nonsense. You're gonna die and you're not gonna sin, because if you are to ascend, that doesn't make no sense at all. It's just like say that a jelly will become a rock, or a rock, in this case our body will become a jelly, which is the ethereal matter, the plasma. So it's all stupid to me, because if you want to ascend actually to etheric from a much denser to a 50D body, you're gonna die. It means that you're gonna die. You see, you're gonna die. For others, you become invisible. Yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna lose this physical body. Okay, and this what they mean. It's not that you're gonna ascend here suddenly. You're gonna wake up tomorrow. Oh, I'm invisible. I can fly. Look at me. I can see my hands. My hands become a transparent. Look at. No, it won't happen. It won't gonna happen. That's no sense. That's mumbo jumbo. Do you understand? You'll have to die. Leave this body, the big death, then you can become fourth dimension. You can get the fourth dimension bodysuit. The sixth divine dispensation, the mass ascension. When the ascension spiral was introduced, the requirements were very strict. It still is. Hey, tell the truth. It still is. You're not gonna make it easy for anybody. You're not very kind, you know. All of you aliens are not kind. A soul had to have nearly all of its karma balanced. How to have karma balanced when I don't remember what I did before? It doesn't make any sense. It's just like I have to pay for the karma and the crimes of other people. It's just like the criminal kill somebody, knock my head. The police found me there together with the other dead body. I was practically in the state of once I fainted, and then the police blaming me for the murder of that dead body over there. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is that if we don't remember, we cannot be accountable to the creation that those beings create. All they are doing is all their karma, it's all they're doing. You have responsibility for the things which you remember to have done, and not things that other people did, and then they knock your head, you lose amnesia. When you wake up, say, "Was you who killed that person next to you?" You don't know. You don't know because you lost your memory. You get what I'm saying? So a soul had to have nearly all of its karma balanced. There's no sense. There's no sense, aliens. There's no sense. All fragments reassembled. Oh, okay. I give you an assignment. You all go look for pins on the ocean bed without any equipment, any sophisticated equipment. Go there. Look, just with your eyes or your hands. Go, go, go look. Go look for dust in the Sahara Desert. Go look for sand in the the Sahara, and then find those sands that is the one that you are looking for and which has important sea, and the rest discard. Go and see whether it's easy fit or not. Go. It's easy to tell people, give an assignment to others for the things that I created. Like say, one example is I have children. Okay, I bring children to the world. Alright? Then I have done my karma, like I have taken drugs, I have stealing from someone. That's just a supposition. And then my kids go to jail for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's all common sense. Even an amoeba is able to rationalize all this which I'm saying. It's common sense. All fragments reassembled. You are stupid, huh? You are stupid. No wonder many people here are stupid because you are stupid, man. You're stupid. And I be able to piece the veils of forgetfulness, amnesia. Oh, ay, 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 ay. It's like, say, the people who have an accident and shattered their brain cells. The doctor say the missus already lay in coma with the open mouth open, and the doctor go there and say, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith, in order for you to be saved, you need to look for all your neurons and all your brain cells which has been fragmented in the accident, and the men that die. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's nonsense. That's rubbish. Inherent in the lower words. This was a arduous task, and until the 60 dispensation was, yeah, at least you understand that was arduous, don't you? Uh-huh. It's just like try to find a needle, or a piece of a grain of sand of rice on the pile of haystack. So, and until the 60 dispensation issue in 1950, only about 308 souls had managed to move off the wheel of reincarnation and onto a spiral of ascension. Let me say, talk about another analogy. Let me create another analogy. Those aliens think that I'm an idiot, you know. They are treating you here like a chicken. Yep. Or like a dog or like a cat. It's just like you take, you know that what they call that treatise that you give to cats or dog, and then you say, here boy, here Tom, here Bob, come here. Uh, if you do a trick for me, I will give you just this time treatise, just a piece of treatise, and then bit by bit I will fill up your stomach like a chicken, because bit by bit, so my mother would say, a chicken fill up the stomach, bit grain by grains. My mother taught me that a chicken is a different metaphor because we live by metaphor. uh, a chicken will fill up her stomach, and it's the same exact thing what aliens are doing to the species in here. I mean, they are disclosing, you know, all the knowledge that we had once and have been taken from us, and they are dispensing bit by bit, and they still think that they are doing something so marvelous, so great favor to you. But only just a thing, aliens, you are not doing to me any favor. Do you understand? All those things that you are giving up bit by bit, like you feed a chicken and a bird, we knew once, at least I remember. Do you understand? This is not big deal what you are giving out. It's nothing. It's nothing but your duties to disclose all this. Okay? These 300 souls were the product of nearly 10 million years of inhabitation of Earth by humans. My goodness. Let me try to figure out here what's going on. Let me formulate. Process. Okay. What they try to say here is that these 300 souls were those wise souls which were made up with all their DNA strands intact. You know, that was the ancient 10 million years original indigenous human beings prior to these devils coming here to earth. Okay, and they are called the 15 multi-dimensional beings. They are but a group of demiurge, corrupted demiurge. Okay, and they call themselves the gods. Whatever, Elohim, I don't care. I don't care. But they are dragons, and they took away all our conscience, our original conscience and knowledge given by the prime source, the energy of everything there is. They took chains because it's a free universe. So they violate this will, they take for granted. Do you understand me? So many of these souls reach the great heights of war and sea, only to have their bodies be destroyed by them when the major civilization ended. Yeah, and you come here 500,000 years ago, don't you? Due to calamities caused by the end of precessional cycles or by warfare. By warfare, when you first came here, you are hidden the truth. You are covertly hiding the truth. Okay? Or from intervention by negatively polarized entities, which you all make part. You all make part because based on what you are saying here, you are them. But you are so perverted minded, like this old Arabic men that bully women online, that you are able to create what I would say, um, how to say, parts of themselves. They disassociate part of themselves, at least mental. They create personalities, different personalities, to attack that personality. Let's say, okay, now I'm an actor. Okay, I'm an actor, so I'm not going to the stage, but I do it in a form, in a visual form. I multiply myself like an amoeba, and then I disassociate myself, and then I form another character, or multiplicity, which you call in psychology, I would say it's called multiplicity. That's the disassociation of oneself, and then you multiply, at least mentally, because you cannot um, physically, but they can do it because they use mimicries to do it, but we cannot. Here the psychopaths, while they can do, the psychopaths like Norman Bates, what they can do is just disassociate themselves. So I would use Norman Bates here as an example. He was Norman, but he at the same time he was his mom. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like this. So the same thing they do, they create parts of themselves, which in this case we're not see, you don't know who they are, right? Because they are always hiding, because they don't want to show who they really are. Do you understand? So what they do, they create um, extensions of themselves and say, oh, that one who did that, actually that one that they are pointing out is you yourself. Oh, I mean they themselves, not you, they themselves. It's just like I create personalities of myself. Do you understand? Just like that own age, that the Arabic man, or might be he's the one who create all the nonsense here online, the own age Arab. He create extensions of himself. Either he is the Tyrone, the Afro boy, or he is the Asian guy, the skinny Asian guy, Baklo, or he is the Russell, or he is anybody else except he himself. And that's how the IT does. There's no such thing as, oh, polarized, oh, Grupo A, oh, Grupo C. No. They are one and only. Multiply themselves, creating characters. Disassociated, this are mental disorder, which the Anunnakis knows very well how to play. Do you understand? Or from intervention by negative, no such thing. Don't come and fool me. I know you are one and all. It's all the same group. Don't lie to me, dude. Don't lie. Or by other celestial events. There's nonsense. I don't believe the celestial events you do. And unless you come and say, hey, also happen in our planet. Why your planet doesn't happen this? Why only where slave species are rearing? I say rearing because here is a farm. We are in a farm. We are in a lab. For them, we are pet. I have had a reptilian come to me one morning. He was brown and green. He was like what they call a reptile man. He's a man, but reptile. He was very large, very. Only his head was the size of my whole torso. I have had him come to me one morning. That was in 2017 or 2018. But I guess it was 2016 to 2018, around the range. He came to me and he hugged me. He was very cold. You know, his scalp very cold, and I feel very nice because he was cold. However, his energy is so strong, so very strong, the frequency that you cannot move. It makes your whole body freeze. Do you understand? Because their frequency is very, I don't know whether it's dense or too high, I don't know, but it might be very so dense that they make you freeze. And he hugged me and he said, you are my pet. I like you very much. He didn't say yo in plural, in a collective way, but me individually. But I'm not his pet at all. I'm not his pet. You understand? I'm not your pet. You know, so that's how they treated us, as pet. For them, we are pet. So the 60th dispensation was essentially a ruling by the Godhead. Who is this Godhead? Jehovah, is it? decreeing that souls did not have to complete all the karma or assemble all their minor pieces before being allowed to ascend to the next level of vibration, which they let it go very bit by bit. Oh, grand grand charity. You know what they did? There's no sense. You're not going to force fourth to fifth dimension, dudes, unless you die. Yeah, the big death. You go to the fourth dimension when you die. You go to meet up with the Arcturians there, right? To be evaluated how you are fair. Yeah. However, let me see. Come on, symbol them in pieces. Symbol all the amino pieces before being allowed to ascend to the next. Yeah, because I forgot. I'm nowadays forgetting a lot of things. I'm not eating properly and I drink. So what I mean is that they did not change our how to say that thing. They did not change our density, okay? Because there's the density 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to I don't know how many. Most of us come from the 70 density, right? And it's a lie that we go for to the 4th or 50 density. That's a lie. What happened here is that we graduated since 2012 to grade 1 in frequency range and not density. Do you follow? Densities are densities. It's level of being of the body suit. It has something to do with the body suit. However, frequencies is yet another story, another thing. Our levels of vibration are elevated just 1 degree. It's just like out of what they say, they just give alms, like they say, they give to a beggar. Hey beggars, do you want some alms? Okay, I give you 1 cent, 2 cent, 50 cent, take it. Or 1 quarter, okay, or 1 pen. And then that's what they gave us, just 1 degree frequency. Frequencies are a range of knowledge, okay? For all of you, what they call light workers, yes, you, density and frequencies are 2 very different stuff. What we are having right now is frequency upgrades, not density. You follow? So the mass ascension resulting from this dispensation is scheduled to occur in stages. And if you use each stages, there will be cataclysm. So you brace yourselves. With all dispensation, they come with a pack. It's just like Kida Bueno. You want to give something to kid. Hey kid, take your Kida Bueno inside. You have some surprise. But in this case, it's a bad surprise, a nightmare. It's a monster. Hey kid, you're gonna have a monster there coming out from your Kida Bueno. You know, it's like that. So I try to make it sound simple. So beginning around 2012 and ending around 2030. There are only the major ascension periods being catalyzed by the shift. You see, catalyzed. See, they call it cataclysm or trigger. Cataclysm, or they call it, yeah, triggers. They will triggerize. There's another name, that word that I forgot. So they kind of triggerize to wake up. And if that come what? Artificial disasters, because it's not natural. And no, it's not the harp. It's not the harp. For all you religions fanatics, I'm sorry. I have to um, I have to break your bubble. It's nothing to do with the harp of the government. It's more than that, something more sinister, and but you, after all, to you fanatics, believe is to see. See is not believe, and I have to keep on say it again and again and again for you to understand. So souls will continue to ascend between these major waves of ascension, but not in as great a number as during the years 2012, 2017, and 2030. So they mean that 2012, 2017, and 2030, once the most ascension took place, and an ascension will take place, a major one will come in 2030, maybe a big war, a third world war. No, third or fourth. Is it fourth or third? Yes, I don't know. I forgot. I'm not the. Anyway, my generation is not the war. I'm post-war. I'm the baby boomer generation. Not say baby boomer. I'm post the baby boomer because I born in the decade where the people were making baby. See? So years that correspond to major celestial events. You see? So brace yourself, for 2030. Gonna have a lot of evil thing coming. These celestial events alter the electromagnetic field around the earth. And then I think a major earthquake is coming, or a war, I'm not sure, which in turn precipitates mutations in the DNA of humans, and that's what they try to turn us into cyborg and certain other life forms. A detailed description of how this works will be found later in this book. When souls ascend physically, they enter into 50 DSNT state of consciousness. Okay, this 50 state of consciousness, which can always lapse. Can always change. It's not always fluctuate. It's not constant. It fluctuates, but it's not the body. It's impossible to change your body overnight. There's nothing that people who tells you that you're gonna become like a ghost is a big illusionist, right? It won't happen, no such thing. Maybe when everybody dies and a new wave is coming to the earth, when the earth will be totally empty, then it may be possible. Okay, but not now. Not now. As long as there is still living humans with this body suit, will not gonna transform, will not gonna shape. That's nonsense. It's our consciousness in the level of learning through different frequencies, and this is frequency 1. However, the earth will be primarily in fourth density state, and the majority of souls that survive the earth changes will be in 40 density. By the year 2030, and is coming, approximately 15 to 30 million souls will be likely to have gone through physical ascension on Earth. As planet Earth moves into the more intense frequency bands of the galactic shift between 2015 and 2035, as discussed later, she and all her life forms will move into the 40 density. Yeah, it's possible, but not now. It's possible, with the exception of those going through the ascensional spiral. There will be in 50 density. So one of the chosen one. Souls unable to make the shift from third to fourth density will leave Earth and reincarnate on other planets more suited to the level of soul growth. This is the transfer spoken of during our discussion of the second dispensation. The 70 dispensation interventions by God's helpers, to assist souls in preparing for ascension, and to help those souls not ready for ascension that wish to remain with Earth during her translation from third to fourth density. A dispensation was granted, allowing beings from higher densities permission to intervene in the affairs of humanity. Bad move, very bad move. This dispensation has two parts. One, instruction and help in the process of growth and evolution. We cannot teach what we don't have. I cannot learn by theory. I must learn by practice. I'm sorry. And I cannot tell the others what I don't do. That's hypocrisy. And second, intervention in the nuclear, neutron, electromagnetic, and chemical weapons programs on Earth. In the night forest, when human beings began testing the atomic bomb, it was evident that they had the capabilities of not only destroying physical life on Earth, but also severely retarding the ability of souls to ascend. I mean, who asked you all to give matches for children to play? After all, you yourself say that, haven't you? That you shouldn't give matches and lighters for children to play with. These weapons disrupt the astral and etheric fields around the Earth, as well as the physical, and they also affect neighboring planets. Therefore, ET civilizations with highly advanced technology were allowed to come to Earth to prevent humans from blowing themselves up with nuclear weapons. Corrections, not humans. Those are hybrid dragons. Correction. Do not generalize, please. We, the common people, has nothing to do with those and powers, which, by the way, may as well be working for you. Yup. So, since the 1940s, other classes of weapons have also been added to the list approved for intervention. Yeah, maybe the water pistol. The decision regarding which weapons to neutralize was based on the principle of critical mass, not unlike the critical mass of nuclear material. I don't understand how a group of beings who send artificial disaster to planets, dare to talk about others destroying the ecology. Really, it's very. I really cannot grasp, the concept. I cannot. I just can't, because I'm not like that. So hypocrite. At the time the God had made this decision, the number of souls that had evolved on earth was now sufficient to warrant such a drastic measure. It was determined that the peaceful, loving souls on earth that wanted to move into fourth density along with the earth, as well as the ones going through ascension, would need to have safe havens in different places around the planet where they could be free from radioactive fallout and the electromagnetic disruptions of warfare. Oh, please stop the war because I want to go down. Only those weapons systems capable of making the entire planet unsafe were banned. Warring humans were free to bomb themselves into oblivion with conventional weapons, while the more enlightened members of the human race would be guided to safe havens. This is the process. This is the process taking place today on planet Earth. Your nuclear weapons have been neutralized on 5 different occasions since 1962. Oh, much before I was born. The Bay of Pigs incident near Cuba was the first such intervention. There were later interventions made in the United States and the Soviet Union. The most recent intervention was made in the fall of 2007 when my granddaughter was born, when a renegade group attempted to start a war between Iran and Iraq, or rather between Iran and the occupying forces in Iraq. This group attempted to launch a nuclear missile from within Iran. The missile, of course, those baboons have no brain. They are very damn stupid. What to expect in a group of people who enslave their own females? What to expect? Tell me. Nothing good, right? Because a smart man will co-create with their females and not slave them and put them below 5 degrees below themselves. The missile never made it out of its silo as the launch codes were immediately neutralized. Good, baboons, good. Neutralized by one of the benevolent factions assisting Earth. And those would be the Pleiadians. Yep, Pleiadians. There have also been attempts by the so-called Illuminati and their black operatives to formulate and propagate chemical, neutron and electromagnetic weapons upon unsuspecting enemies. These weapons are a little more difficult to detect. Oh my God. This is what called biological warfare. But God is help us with the use of sophisticated clairvoyancy and the EM field surveillance. Lucky you that you all have disabilities, have been able to prevent any large-scale use of these weapons. If these are true, hello, hybrid here, who think that you are in power, you cannot stand a chance to do cities because they are much more powerful than any one of us here. And albeit I know they also have a parcel of blame for all this that is happening here right now, still I confess that I have to give them clearances for all this, for all the things that they claim at least to have done for art. So if you think that you have been how to say, you have been doing everything in secret, covertly, no, you are not. I'm so sorry. You have been watched by remote view. Yeah, by remote view. I myself, I'm saying all this, and me too, I've been watched, but they allow me to say all this because they want me to say all this anyway. There's a reason why they want me to say all this, and that's why they allow me to say all this. And while I'm saying all this, yeah, they are watching me from afar and through remote view, but I don't care. It's okay. I don't care because I'm one of those traumatic souls. These are numerous ET groups conglomerated around the EM grid system of the Earth. Just say Pleiadians, working to prevent EM weapons and other negativity from producing anomalies in the etheric field of Earth. The ley lines and vortex that made up the EM grid of Earth are essentially portals that allow the physical and etheric worlds to interface. I heard that the ley lines is a kind of barrier to stop other ETs from penetrate the atmosphere of Earth. Advanced civilizations use these grid lines as their entry and exit points into your world. These grid systems are what keep your Earth and its etheric counterpart in balance. Really? I find it hard to believe. I'm so sorry. If the grids are disrupted beyond a certain point, it can literally tear the fabric of time and space and make life on Earth not only possible, but also disrupt life in the entire solar system. How so? What will really happen if it is disrupted? Most of the other planets in your solar system have life in the etheric and celestial planes, of course. The grid system of Earth can become imbalanced, not just from nuclear and EM weapons, but also from large amounts of negativity, fear, and other thought forms magnified due to large numbers of souls participating in those thoughts. Collective energy, collective thinking. As long as these thoughts are not destructive, that's okay. This is why you often have negative vortexes in areas where a lot of souls are stuck in negativity. Negativity, as defined here, means anything within consciousness that tends to obstruct or prevent a soul from growing and evolving in a natural way. The emergence of negativity vortexes due to concentrated negative thinking was another reason groups of enlightened souls were sent to intervene in the affairs of earth. All this should have been avoided if you haven't meddled and changed the DNA of the people and then incarnate all the unsavory character in the first place. Also have done experiment if we mix the species. The phenomenon known as crop cycles that you see in your wheat fields is a byproduct of the grid work being done by various ET groups. As they balance and stabilize the grid system around your planet, they often leave sacred symbols and triggers behind in order to help you awaken. These impressions left in the fields are formed by creating mini vortexes using ET machinery on board the spacecraft. I knew it a long time already. And people think that's a so big secret. I knew it. All this Stone Age, all done by ETs. They have levitating magnetic field machines. They can levitate that thing and arrange at will. No big deal for them. This is the same equipment used to transport the ships. The specific group responsible for the majority of the genuine crop cycles are the 4th density Pleiadians, supervised by 70 density Arcturians. But this greedy thing, dude, this is all a lie. You are doing that to keep us here prisoners. Just say the truth, because I don't like lies. Okay? And also, keep your eyes from that grid itself send a lot of dark energy to earth and then makes eyes thinking in a negative way. The 8th dispensation, the arrival of the enlightened children. Oh, what these enlightened children do? What they are doing? Beginning in the 50s, the Godhead realized that in order to preserve free will among the enlightened souls of earth, who preserve free will was Lucifer, the Luciferians. It would be necessary to bring about change from within. The best way to do this was to introduce highly evolved souls through the incarnational process, as it was usually too risky to land spaceships on the earth and have their occupants working openly among incarnated humans, although there are few groups doing this. To use a metaphor, God raised his hand and said, "Who wants to volunteer to come to earth and assist during this critical time? I want all the best and the brightest souls." Or you must say, I could say also to be safe souls. We will, shout an exuberant crowd. So where are they? I seldom see, beside Cameron Day, David Bassi, David Icke. I don't see others. Where are they? Really, I don't see it. Most are males. Where are the females? The females are all in the passive mood, except me. So shout an exuberant crowd. And now here they are, coming in droves to put to your word from all over the universe. Oh, I don't think that they are so evolved. Most of all, the souls, most of them are so rude to their parents. I don't think that a evolved soul will be rude to their parents. I never raised my voice to my mother. Never. Never. I'll be ashamed of myself if I did so. Some have been in 70 density worlds prior to coming into Earth, and as much as such have retained most or all of their psychic and intuitive abilities. But for what? They are doing nothing. Where's their work? As I say, beside David Bassi, Cameron Day, and David Icke, I don't see others. I really don't see. They are peace-loving souls who will not tolerate violence and hatred. It's not a point. Really, it's not a point. Sometimes they are passive souls who doesn't do any changes on Earth, aliens. So what's the point? You are just, you don't tolerate violence and hatred, right? But then you spread false messages, false knowledge to others. You never tell the truth, you hide the truth. So what's the point for you to be so lovey-dovey? Sometimes a man gotta do what a man gotta do. To stop at this spot, we have to be in the same language as they are. Or what's your suggestion, aliens? That we get massacred, we get abused and keep it quiet in a passive mode? I tell you what, only an idiot will do so. Only an idiot will do so. And I bet that you yourselves, aliens, will also not put up with the abuses for too long, alright? So do not expect from others what you don't expect for others, for yourselves. And unless do say this are the humans itself who uses the filter to pass all those messages. Sometimes are those so-called light workers who want to be so lovey-dovey, so kind, but at the end they do nothing real that transforms Earth, that doesn't do good causes. They are fancy sitters. They like to sit on the fence. They do not take a stand even. They are aware of the risks of coming to Earth and are willing to take the chance that they might get caught in the veils of illusion. The problem is not get caught in the veil of illusion. The problem is stupid as well. Even if you wake up, but you do not tell the truth, what's the point? You are not brave enough to tell the truth. What's the point, aliens? Or light work, whatever you are. There have been 3 waves of these souls. The first during the baby boom of the 50s and 60s. I was born in the 60s, middle 60s. The second during the 90s and 80s and 90s. That's my children born. My children were born in the 80s and 90s. But so far, all the boys are wicked. The girls, Mamma mia, all the boys are wise. The girls is really a disappointment. I hope they will change. One is 36, another one is 30. If they haven't changed up to now, I don't know. Because before the age I already knew. You see, I was born in the middle 60s. Before the ages, I already knew. In the 80s, I already started to feel the difference in myself. Since I was a teen, I already have this desire to help the downtrodden, regardless of skin color or species. I help the stray animals. And I don't like to waste. I don't like to spit on the floor, on the road. I don't like to dirty, litter, do not to litter the environment. You see, I was very, very like very, very evolved. It's like a indigo child. I have some precognition back then as well. I had visions, etc. I'm not perfect. I'm just a common person, just like anybody else. But I'm just say that, yeah, I, I feel sometimes a bit strange. So in the third, during the present time on earth. Second, during the 80s and 90s. No, my son, one born in 85, another one born in 96. The girls, one were born in 84 and another in 1990. And no, they are not smarty cook in the jar. Before the age, I already knew so many things already. I already was search before my 30s. Age 18, 16, 17, I already felt a lot of things different. And the third, during the present time on earth, they have been given various names, including the indigo, the first wave, the 1950s and the 60s, indigo. See, I was right, I mean indigo. Crystal, the second wave. So my children are indigo, but the girls, crystal, the girls are not, they are not very bright. All the guys are bit. So they are crystal, I'm indigo, indigo blue, and a rainbow. And my granddaughter, she's a rainbow. She's very, very smart for her age. She's 13. She's so smart, and she has a lot of interesting dreams. I'm not saying dreams, I mean real dreams of things that will happen, precognition, just like me and my mom. And my mom were born in 27, and she too had precognitive dreams. My mom too were in indigo, but she was born in 1927. She had me when she was, I don't know, 39-year-old, yeah. So each group coming in is generally more highly evolved than the previous group. I don't think so. I was even more highly evolved than my sons and daughters at the age, before the age even. I don't think so. This is to ensure on my son, the one born in 94, he is totally different. 96, he was born in 96. This to ensure that as the vibration of earth rises rapidly, the souls coming in later will have a greater chance of being able to withstand the vibrations. Why? I got why. Because they are not quite evolved, you know. They have a generation gap. They do not, with the parents, they do not respect traditions anymore. Like I did, my mother and I also have a very different generational gap. But however, I did respect my mother because I have a profound love towards her and a profound gratitude for all what she done to me. Okay, but nowadays, sons and daughters born since the 70s, they are not respecting parents at all, and that's not being involved. Those are aliens mentality, all right, but they are not evolved, and doesn't have to be an alien to be evolved. In fact, some humans are more evolved than aliens are. In this case, I don't see myself as an alien. I'm a human. So those souls coming later to have a grace. That sense to be hard, to be bad, evil, killing parents. Great, devils, very great, devils, Satans. So to extend the vibrations of person without losing worthiness. Nonsense. They have losing their worthiness a long time ago. Stop your lies. Stop your lies. They do not respect parents. Some of them beat parents, kill their parents. Stop your lies, please. Many of the indigo children are now adults. Adults giving birth. Yeah, like me. Many of the indigo children, but I'm different. You know that. I'm very, very different. I'm not passive. I don't like passivity. Passivity is not my surname. So, many of the indigo children are now adults giving birth. No. I already have given birth. I already locked my factory, baby machine factory. So, giving birth to crystal and rainbow children. What? Giving birth to rainbow children? Come on, man! I already have given birth to crystal children. I cannot imagine myself giving birth to rainbow. Rainbow would be my grandchildren, and not my children. The last kid I give birth to, I was 28, 29-year-old. So I complete the family. I couldn't see myself being 35, 40, 50 given birth. What's that? These parents have enough awareness to encourage the children to develop their intuitive and psychic abilities. I encourage, but if they follow another path, up to them. They want to be materialistic, rude, go to your path. Want full religion? Be stupid. Some of these children have perfectly developed telepathic abilities and are able to trigger spontaneous healing. A few have developed the abilities of psychokinetics, moving objects mentally that are close by, and telekinetics, moving objects mentally from a distance. Eventually, some will learn the advanced techniques of levitation, teleportation, and bilocation. I have teleported. I teleport myself many times to the place where I stay in a form of a ghost. My childhood grange where I used to live as a kid, and I went there many times in the etheric form. And also I teleport myself to another place where I never been before to meet somebody there. I never saw this person's house, and I went to this person's house. I knew the block, and I have never seen. I knew where this person lived. I even went inside the house, and I am in another country. I'm miles away from South America. So, contrary to information being circulated by some groups on that, very few souls have the ability to shapeshift into other life form. That's very true. However, my mother knew on the 30s, no 30s, 40s. She was already she was a girl. No, she was a girl. Yeah, she was about to give to marry my father, and she was courting my father yet when she knew of this Afro-Brazilian lady who could actually transform herself into a tree, and she was a witch. Okay, my mother told me this story, and it really happened a long time ago. Nowadays, no, they have lost the ability, and this Afro lady have born in the beginning of the 19th century, and she could transform herself into a tree or an animal. Whoever comes to catch her for witchcraft, she will transform herself to protect herself. Long time ago, those witches were persecuted. Okay, so when the police came to the village, she will transform herself into a frog or a tree, and it's very common. It was very common, not anymore. So yeah, these people here not tell the truth, or they don't know, they are deformed, because this Afro lady really could transform herself, and she was granddaughter of slaves. So this is an ability reserved mostly for souls who have evolved into next density and beyond, or those who learn black magic, and the very few souls from those levels of warrency are manifesting bodies on earth anyway. Oh, they don't want to, but long time ago they did, not anymore. A long time ago they did, as it is risky even at their level. What is being mistaken for shape-shifting is actually partial and full possessions of humans by Astro ET. Oh yeah. In her case, she have some. She deal with all entities, dark entities. She was a witch, so she dealt with black magic. So by Astro ET entities that have no humanoid forms, like reptilians, there will be a later section dealing with possessions of humans by Dracos, Orions, Syrians, and Satan Thetas. Wow, that's gonna be very, very interesting. I can't wait to actually go there, but now I have no time. Now that we have laid the groundwork, for the discussion to follow, we will commence to describe the mechanics of the galactic shift occurring between 1950 and the 2100, and it's there when a Fourth World War may broke out of Third World War, and the precessional alignment is scheduled to occur in the year 2012. We